Thanks for joining us on Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged, where the message is always truthful, authentic, and inspiring. For more information on Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged, visit BobbyeandTonilee.com. Now your hosts, Bobbye and Tonilee.
Hello, welcome to Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged here at K-Praise 1210 a.m. We're on every day at 10 a.m. My name is Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
If you're brand new to the show, formerly known as Daily Disciples Radio, but we've been switching things up because you can not only listen, you can also watch us now at our YouTube channel. And I think that's, if you know anything about us, we also do a lot of teaching and really educating on where this world is going with media. And what's happening. So we want you to have more than one opportunity to hear about the gospel, hear about Jesus. And since this is the week of Christmas, there's no better time to do that. And today is one of those days that we have something so special because we've got someone special coming into studio with us. And there's so I can't even introduce her. I'm going to just bring her on set because if you'd like more information about the ministry and what's happening, and you can also, again, watch this program through dailydisciples.org. That's our website. And don't forget the Power of Hope Women's Conference coming up on Saturday, January 30th. But we'll tell more about that later. I don't want to waste a moment of bringing in a dear friend, someone that many of you know but may not realize you know, because she and her husband produce, edit, put out, whatever you want to say own and distribute one of the last remaining true Christian publications in San Diego, if not beyond. And so let's welcome to our show, Colleen Monroe.
Yes.
Colleen, come on in. Thank you.
Good to see you.
It's so good to see you. Welcome to the show.
And Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Thank you so much. For those of you on air,
Okay.
Colleen just brought us a present, so she's our best friend now. I'm going to put it right here on the set. And again, we encourage you to go watch us as we're doing the interview. We'll put this up on our website where you can just click the link. Again, this is Monday. It's the week of Christmas, and you know, Colleen, we're thrilled because our listening audience can't see it, but everyone, I believe, in San Diego knows about the good news, etc.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about this, obviously, because you and Rick, your husband, have been doing this now for how long?
We are in our 32nd year. If I was even shocked when I was going over the dates again, and because I thought we just talked about the 30th.
Oh,
and
my.
So it's our 32nd year we've been publishing. We started it in 1984 and from the ground up.
Now, for those of you that may not know about the good news, which I think everybody in San Diego has certainly seen it, heard of it, good news, etc. I'm holding it up on the screen right now if you're watching, but they have a website, and it's goodnewsetc.com. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Goodnewsetc.com. We know it well. We'll have a link on our website as well as a partner for the ministry. Good News has been a partner with Daily Disciples for many years. We support the every year the prayer. Day of Prayer.
Yes, the National Day of Prayer.
National Day of Prayer. We're
Folks
always a sponsor for that. And Good News has been part of our conference for over 10 years. And this is our 11th annual conference. And you know, of course, this month in December, we're very honored because you put us, Women of Influence, we were honored to be on the front page. But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's just something special we appreciate from you. But let's talk about how, and T, you've got a lot of questions too, so you jump in with the next question. I can just keep going because I know Colleen.
So, Colleen, tell us how the Lord put this on your heart.
Well, basically my husband came from journalism, so he was always in the secular realm of that. In fact, he worked for the Carlsbad Journal, and he was a managing editor for the Carlsbad Journal. Also worked up at Western Outdoor News up in Orange County. And then through events, it came up that we worked with his father. We did a national publication, and God used that to show us how to do this with good news, etc. And so when Rick got saved at a later time in his life, and then he started to realize, and people would tell him, there's no Christian newspaper. And so he took Habakkuk to heart, and he wrote it out. He wrote exactly out what he would do, how it would be, how it would be in the community. And so then we regionalized San Diego into different parts. And with that, we went and visited pastors and just asked them. We said, we have this on our heart. We feel this is what God wants us to do. What do you think? And we always were very encouraged by it. And then one of the people said, well, you should also have a good writer. So we looked up Sherwood Wirt in the phone book. And we talked to him on the phone, and he lived in Poway at the time. And he said, come out and see me. And so we talked to him, and we shared the vision. And he says, well, you need someone good on page 1 who's has a readership. He goes, and I'll do that for you. Wow. And so it was just this unfolding of events and encouragement.
With the Lord, like God's hand was on
Yes, that we knew, okay, this is what we're going to do. And so we set out and to do that. And, it's funny because you go out in the community and you have nothing that you're really selling. You're just selling that we're going to start this Christian newspaper. But I remember we had enough to start our first one, and then you have your second one, and then you're 10 years old, and then you're 15 years old, and then 20 years old.
It's unbelievable.
And time just flies.
And this is not just like a skimpy little flyer. I mean, this is a full-blown, and I'm always impressed every month because we not only get ours, but we distribute, we take them everywhere with us. This is a real full-blown newspaper. I mean, it's more than even a lot of papers that are out today. I mean, you've got 20 pages in here.
Yes.
And it's filled with, I love the articles. I mean, I always take a copy and sit down in some quiet time and just read through it every month because the content, how do you find such good quality content? And I'm always amazed, Colleen, at people that I didn't know who were Christians that you guys find or interview or contribute, sports people,
Yes.
People that we wouldn't know who were Christians. Right. How do you find the content for the paper?
Well, one thing is with the columnists that we have, they have their gift in what they write about. And so like with sports, this gentleman, Jeff Clark, he just has his connections to find out who the believers are when it's Charger season, when it's Padre season, and we really try to use those as enticements.
Yeah, exactly.
We like to show their pictures and people relate, and the guys look at it, or wives can show it to their husbands. Mm-hmm. But it's just an interest that there are believers out there, and they play sports and they believe in Jesus Christ, and they're not embarrassed to proclaim His name. With other articles, honestly, it just comes.
I'll tell you, one of the hardest things that we know just from being in online, what we do online, content is always the hardest thing to find. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that have content, but good content is really difficult. Right. You and Rick own the company.
We do.
Right? And I know one day I was at an event with you and I asked you what all you do. And I remember you saying I said, so you run it, you print it, you do all this stuff, and you go, yeah, and today I'm a courier. I'll never forget that. And today I'm a courier. You were delivering papers that day.
Right. We have 20 route people that work with us now, and they all have their city. They all have their area that they know. And so they're able to manage it better and not get so frustrated over the whole route. And but we've done all those routes ourselves. I mean, we've made them, and then
so tell us how many miles you cover.
Well, we did this little project the beginning of the year, and we cover 1,179 miles of San Diego County, and we have 1,153 drops that we are in throughout San Diego.
That's almost every mile that you cover.
It was amazing to us to find that out, as the numbers lay down.
That is really incredible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The goodnewsetc.com, the website actually as I know over the years, has just gotten better and better with really mimicking the content that's in the paper as well. And that's one of the things that's been hard. A lot of papers have gone out of print because they're only doing the online now, but you're doing both.
Right. You know, we've always wanted, our print is our flagship. Right. You know, and just like you said, you like to sit back and take a newspaper and just go through it. And we find people, that's what people tell us, is they love to get the newspaper, they're having a cup of coffee, they're picking it up someplace, they could hold it, they could read it, they can do it at any time. One of the things we do is Carlsbad Street Fair.
Oh, yes.
And we've been doing that for, goodness, 15 years, you know. And we love it, you know, and it's a full day, which you know what those full days are, you're exhausted. But you know, you come out of there and you've met people, and people have come to you and said, thank you for doing the paper. I pick it up at church. We had a veteran this past time we were at the fair, and he walked past us and he came back and he shook Rick's hand. And he says, I thank you for just running the articles on the military. And you know, it's just great to be able to interact with your readership that way.
Absolutely. Well, we've got to take a break, but we've got so much more with Colleen. I have a zillion questions. T.O. and I are going to have to battle who gets to ask the next one. But don't go away. We've got a lot more to share with Colleen Monroe. She and her husband Rick own, operate, distribute Good News, ETC, Good News, etc. right here in San Diego. If you're listening to K-Praise 1210 a.m., you're listening to Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
And we're the co-founders of Media for Women Enterprises. And we've been helping business owners and entrepreneurs for the last 7 years grow and start their own businesses.
Yes, we know how challenging it is for small business owners to break out and attract new customers.
Because you need a new website, new video, increased social media, and a real strategic plan.
Our new Business in a Box is your one-stop shop. Call now, 800-992-0369 for your free consultation.
Hi, this is Bobbye and Tonilee from Daily Disciples, and we want to invite you to the Power of Hope Women's Conference, Saturday, January 30th at Point Loma Nazarene University.
If you want more information, go to dailydisciples.org or you can call us 800-992-0369.
Welcome back to Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged here at K-Praise 1210 a.m. every day at 10 a.m. And for those of you listening across the world, the podcast, online, offline, as Tonilee says, online, on land, and
on air.
On air, that's right. So you can, if you're driving in your car listening, we have a very special guest in studio with us today, Colleen Monroe. She and Rick, her husband, own the Good News, etc. right here in San Diego County. And we have known Colleen since 2008, which I think is just amazing. Over 7 years now that we've known Colleen and Rick. Not just good friends, but I think just such a mutual respect for being on the front lines in ministry. And that's where you are. The warfare, people don't realize until they're doing it, just all the stuff that comes at you. I'm sure in 32 years, you've seen a lot. Just every month. This is a monthly publication, by the way.
Monthly, yes.
And it's free. I want to make that note. It's free. And I would encourage everyone, if you're listening right now, because Tonilee and I have been a part of the magazine paper on and off in different areas for years. They have a classified section. They have an ad section. You can place. This is the place where you want to put your community information. So if you've got an event, you've got something coming up, you want to put it in the Good News. And so churches, groups, organizations, businesses, it doesn't matter. You really, that's what keeps you going.
It is.
And it's very, very important. And we need to rally together as Christians in San Diego. And I'm just going to say this, we need to rally together and support one another in areas of financial opportunities, because this is, are you the last remaining Christian print?
Well, there's 30 newspapers throughout the United States, Christian newspapers. For San Diego, for a newspaper, yes, we're the last man standing.
You're the last paper in San Diego in print, and it's free.
It's free.
But can somebody get a subscription and have it delivered to their home?
Yes, people can subscribe, and it's $30 a year, and we mail it first class.
Wow.
You know, it's first class mailing for that. We did away with bulk mail, I think, when the dinosaurs left.
Yeah, I know, right, I know. Tell me about it. Well, I just want to put this is the week of Christmas right now. This is Monday, just tuning in. Merry Christmas to you. And, I want to encourage you to really consider starting the new year with a annual subscription with the Good News, etc. for $30. This is something that will bless you. It'll bless your home, bless your family. And if you would like to get a copy of the Good News, call us here at 800-992-0369 or come by our offices in Carlsbad, and we'll be glad to give you a free copy just to check it out.
So Colleen, you were telling me about the verse that you started with, 2 Corinthians.
It was 2 Corinthians 2:14, and it's that we are in a triumphal procession.
I like that.
You know? And so when days we get discouraged, I go back to that verse. And Christ said I was going to be triumphant in that. So I have to walk in believing that that's what he told me. And so with that, though, it's spreading the aroma of the knowledge of Christ everywhere.
I love that.
Everywhere we go, to the living and the dead. You know, but we see that when we map out where we go with the newspaper, because we're not just in the church. We're in grocery stores, libraries, we're at the county office, we're just at delis, we're at yogurt shops, we're basically any place somebody will take us. And so we're just everywhere.
I love it.
So when you get discouraged, like it's been years, and we're actually at our 11th annual women's event. We're going to have a panel of gals talking about how they pushed through the down times, the depressing times, the times that you don't have the finances, that you're looking at it going, is it time to pull the plug? How have you seen the Lord be faithful to you to continue? How have you dug your heels in and said, we're going to keep doing this?
I think it's just knowing that God called us, is that he called us, and I don't feel a release.
That's
to
so
stop
true. Oh boy, it's so
You
true.
know, I don't.
Because it has changed so much from
Yes.
the online world. You guys
Right.
are online. I mean, I read it online a
Right.
lot.
Yes.
So even when it gets delivered, sometimes I don't have it with me. So I'll go online and recall that article. So how have you been able to even make it through the changes of 32 years?
It's just,
You have the calling, but how do you those moments that you said there's no release? We can relate to that, but you can't quit.
you can't quit.
When it's a calling, you
You
can't quit.
It's that, and I really kind of think about that, is that God called us because he knew I'd be faithful. Okay?
Yes.
See, so that's what I just always
That's
would
your
encourage
encouragement.
people
Yes,
to.
yes, I
is
understand
you know
that.
what? You have to be faithful. People have come to us and you could do you could do this with the newspaper, you could do this
Right,
newspaper.
right.
Why don't you you
Right.
could be the first newspaper.
Right.
It's like, but no,
That's
that
so
is
true.
like, we can't do that, because this is what God called us to, and I'm not going to abuse what he called us to.
I love it. I love
And
it.
so those times get hard. Print is challenging.
Yes.
People say to us, wow, you just supported through advertising? Yes, we are. But we streamline ourselves. We use wisdom on how to make expenses and how to cut expenses and how to make things just work to where we have to keep going. And, and I think it's wonderful with our church, Pastor Larry always says, you know what? You just keep paddling. You just keep paddling. And you know what? We just keep paddling.
I love it.
And,
I love it.
Rick is, of course, women always, will get more emotional over stuff. And Rick is just always so even keel. He's just,
Yeah.
he never says, I want to quit. I mean, he just always knows this is what we do.
And
this is what, and we see that. We see that when we do articles on people or when we just have situations come up and how it just works out.
Yeah.
And so it's those times you remember the faith, God has been faithful.
Yes.
So I know this is what we're supposed to do.
Listen, if you're just tuning in to Daily Disciples Radio, or formerly known as Daily Disciples Radio, now Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged here at K-Praise 1210 a.m. Colleen Monroe, our very special guest from the Good News, etc., owner, distributor, she and her husband Rick. I think her final words just in this segment talking about God's calling and being faithful. When we come back from the break, we're going to continue this discussion because I always believe that a message that's being spoken to you right now is a message for you. It's God appointed. So don't go away. We'll be back with more Bobbye and Tonilee right here at 12:10 a.m. Stay tuned. Be right back. Hi, this is Bobbye and Tonilee from Daily Disciples, and we want to invite you to the Power of Hope Women's Conference, Saturday, January 30th at Point Loma Nazarene University.
If you want more information, go to dailydisciples.org or you can call us 800-992-0369.
Hi, I'm Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
And we're the co-founders of Media for Women Enterprises. And we've been helping business owners and entrepreneurs for the last 7 years grow and start their own businesses.
Yes, we know how challenging it is for small business owners to break out and attract new customers.
Because you need a new website, new video, increased social media, and a real strategic plan.
Our new Business in a Box is your one-stop shop. Call now, 800-992-0369 for your free consultation.
Hello, welcome back to Bobbye and Tonilee UnPlugged. My name is Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
Hey, if you're brand new to the show, you are probably maybe listening right now to 12:10 a.m. We're every day at 10 a.m. And K-Praise 1210 is really our home base. We've been on the air for over 10 years now. And we're honored to be in studio today with someone who's been doing something longer than we have. And we're going to get back to our interview with Colleen Monroe from the Good News, Etc. Just want to remind everyone to go to dailydisciples.org. If you haven't visited our website, dailydisciples.org, we'll have the link to this radio program and the video. We are videotaping right now, so you can actually watch Colleen sitting here with us, chatting. So you can go to Bobbye and Tonilee channel on YouTube and watch all of the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged shows for the last month. So this one will be titled Interview with Good News, Etc., founder, owner, and courier, Colleen Monroe. So back to the show. Colleen, you know, you were talking about just God's faithfulness and how you and Rick, you've been married for how long?
We've been married for just about as long as we've been doing the paper.
Okay,
Wow.
so
34
I have a
years.
question.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I have a question about
Honey,
that.
I love you.
How did
that work?
How do you do it with your? How do you run
Yeah.
a business like this with your husband? With a lot
He
of
has
prayer.
his stuff, and I have my stuff, and he gives me the freedom, you know, and listens to my ideas, and I just though give him the ultimate say, because when we don't agree, then I usually know, okay, then I just have to just wait and see what God wants.
That's awesome.
And usually it's just, usually honestly, it's usually what Rick is kind of suggesting. And
Well,
it's
he
good.
will appreciate that. We'll have to let him know you said that. That's awesome.
But yes, we just do. We work really well together. And I have, you know, you have to have outlets too.
Right, that's
that
right.
allow you just to get out and be with women, be just doing other
That's
things.
right,
And
that's right.
So,
And that's how we met.
yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so with that, you know, he doesn't make me stay in the office all the time. I mean, I can go if I want. We have 2 grandbabies now.
Yes,
And they
I
come to the house, and
know.
even during deadline week, they're there, and he takes a break, and because he just knows that it will get done. If I have to sleep less, that's okay, but this is important.
Well, our conference
Yes.
will be in the January edition, I
Yes.
believe. And every year we put it in there because there's so many people that will tell us, I saw it in the Good News. And so we know there's people every month that pick it up and read it. And I just want to do another shout out as well. If you're watching right now, Merry Christmas, the week of Christmas. We're so honored to have Colleen here. The December paper that's out is so cool because it's so decorated with the holidays and great articles. It's got an amazing article on the front page. I mean, I don't know, it's a couple women of influence. Her name's Bobbye and Tonilee. I don't know, just now. Kidding aside, there's so many quality articles and information in this. We encourage you not only to look at getting a subscription for just $30 a year, have it delivered to your home, but if you're a business, church, have an event coming up, especially in the new year, this is the time to contact them. They have printing deadlines that they need to get things out. Contact them, contact us, and we will connect you with the good news. There's tremendous opportunities to really get your message out. You promote so many community events. You even have a calendar right in the middle of the paper.
We do, and the calendar listing is free, so churches just have to contact us, and then we make that listing available. And then also that, of course, is online separately even from the newspaper itself online.
How cool is that? So if you have an event, you're a church, you can get on the Good News calendar, which is right in the center. It's the centerfold of the paper for free. And then they also have a classified section. There's opportunities to put, I don't want to say ads, but they're like banner ads that you would put on a website, but beautiful. And you help produce those, actually. If someone says, you know what, I don't have a graphic artist department.
Yes, we do.
You actually will create the ad for them.
We could create the ad for them. It's free. It's what we do. And
how cool is that? So I can just tell you, if you're sitting there going, yeah, but I don't know how to make it, I wouldn't know what to say, they help you do that. So, and this is where their livelihood comes from. And we want to keep Good News, etc., going in San Diego for the next 30 years. Colleen may not be running it. She can pass it on to her grandkids. But they are the last surviving print publication in San Diego. Colleen, thank you so much for just coming in on this Christmas week and talking to us. We're going to have Colleen back on the show next month because we're going to ask her some ideas that will help your business and some ways that you can actually get your church started, get some things going. Tonilee and I have a lot of questions for her, so she'll be back on the show with us next month in January. Well, we got to wrap it up for today's show, Tonilee, right? Don't forget the Power of Hope. We did the Power of Love so much last year. Power of Hope, Saturday, January 30th. Get your tickets at dailydisciples.org. And we have got to run here at Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged at K-Praise, 12:10 a.m. Until tomorrow, God bless. Merry Christmas, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for tuning into Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Tune in every day on air and online for more real life, real answers from Bobbye and Tonilee. Subscribe to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and for more information, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com.